Hello everyone. So today I want to discuss about two research study method. The first one is a cross-sectional study, and the second one is the um, case control study. So the first one I want to mention about is the cross-sectional study design. This is a very simple but powerful design, in my opinion, because it provides such a quick snapshot about all the frequency and the characteristics of the public health threat or the disease in a community and or the population at the same at a certain period of time. So in this case, the power of this control study method is that it provides such a general yet powerful and very broad, very informative picture of a public health threat that of the public health threat of interest. Um, and however, the weakness of the cross-sectional study design is the researcher cannot determine, like it's very difficult for us to look at the results of the cross-sectional study design and determine the cause and effect of the public health threat, like um, whether if this factor is the cause of the other factor or the other way around, and it's very difficult for us to do that. Also, there are the confounders may play some roles in the in changing the altering the results of the cross-sectional study, because the confounders here can be many, since the picture that the cross-sectional study design provide us is so large. That's why we have many confounders as well, including in that picture, such as age, ethnicity, gender, and other confounders. And that is one of the weakness of this study. I think the first weakness is that we cannot determine the cause and effect of the public health threat using this study method, and the second is that there are many confounders that may interfere with the results. So moving on to the case control study. The purpose of the case control study is to determine the factors or the potential cause of any kind of public health threats or the disease in a community. And then in order to do this, the researcher will have two groups of people. The first group will have the conditions, and the second group will be the control group, which is healthy and doesn't have the conditions. And using this method will help the researchers to find the causal effect of the factors that of interest. So he can either, for example, if we have to let's see if smoking is related to is one of the cause of lung cancer, we will have a group of people who have lung cancer and the other group of people who don't have lung cancers. And when we compare these two groups, we ask them question: how many times do they smoke one day? How often do they smoke? And using all the questions to find the answer, which is the potential cause for lung cancer, we can see if smoking is a real cause of this result of this disease, lung cancer. However, beside of the advantage of finding like the causal effect of the public health threat, the case control study also have weakness, and one of that is I think it depends it heavily depends on the retrospective data information. What I mean by this is because it's very important, it's very crucial for and to determine whether a case control study is successful or not, by to choose the right group of people, so it's always better to have the two group of people who share the same background. And what I mean by background is mean that should they should be selected from the same like similar condition, lifestyle, environment, and if they are familiar with smoking or not, or if they are totally raised like their family situation. There's many factors that determine whether the two groups are strongly related and can be compared. And the more similar they are, the easier for the researcher to go to make the decision of whether or not smoking is the cause of lung cancer. And I think the confounders play a much important role in case control study than in cross-sectional study. And it is because the cross-sectional study is basically just provided such a large picture of the whole population over one public health threat or disease. And so we're going to have a lot of confounders, and we can it's already there, but then it doesn't interfere with all the crude data because we already know who got the disease and who don't. However, in this case, when we're trying to find the cause of the public health threat, the confounders play a very important role over here. And so that if we find if the two group, if we compare the two group of people who don't have the same background, who not who um, that they are not related to each other very much, it's very hard to conclude that it's very hard to jump into a conclusion whether or not a cause is really the potential cause of a public health threat. And yeah, that's basically my opinion over my understanding over this two kind of study. Thank you for listening. Bye.